All right, it's the week of the 16th. We're back in here. It's freezing cold in Dallas right now. Here with my faithful sidekick, Will Narbougie.
Yes. I had a life-changing moment this week.
Did you?
As you know, we didn't get to celebrate Christmas with my parents because all the kids were sick and stuff. So they sent all of our presents this week.
Oh.
And I got an air tag.
Oh, that's cool. What do you lose all the time?
My wallet.
Oh,
yes. With my I get made fun of my new wallet.
Big
that I have.
wallet.
It's like basically a women's clutch.
That is.
Well, I always lose it. So I thought, well, let me just go big, right? Like an old style billfold. Yeah. And I won't lose it. No, joke's on me. I left it at Central Market twice, went back, they actually had it.
What do you need that requires that big of a wallet in your wallet?
Nothing. It's so big that I won't forget it. That's why I got huge, because I used to have a money clip, like an old style, or I used to carry around everything like in a rubber band, but I would leave it everywhere. So over the summer, I was like, if I get a huge wallet, I won't forget it. That's just not the case.
So it's not the wallet.
It's the user. It's a user. So I put an air tag in it, and I forgot it in my car when I went to Home Depot yesterday, and it immediately alerted my phone, and I was like, oh my God, I was freaking out. I thought so life-changing event right there. But
I lost over New Year's Eve. I went and got gas. My son ran into the gas station and got something, and he said he gave me my credit card back, and maybe he did, but this is my personal credit card, and I haven't had it since.
You don't know where it is?
I don't know where it is.
Any charges on it?
No. It's
in the car.
It's in the car somewhere or something. But
that's funny.
I'm kind of like, I don't need it. I won't spend money if I don't have it.
Well, that's kind of when I lost my wallet over July, I didn't spend any money. It was great. My expenses went down. I was like, oh, this is so. I got a new debit card. I haven't activated it since.
Well, it's like I gotta go to my wife and get her credit card and go buy something. So it's gonna be like really intentional.
Yes, yeah. But it's cold out there, man.
It is cold. I learned my lesson from the freeze a couple years ago. I got everything prepped up, ready to go.
I didn't. My house is fine, but all my plants are totally screwed.
Yeah.
Oops.
Well.
My
rest in peace, plants.
Well, my landscaper's looking for a big payday this year. I'm going to help him out a little bit.
All right. In economic calendar this week, you've got jobless claims. The forecast is 202,000. Previous wasn't there. The existing home sales forecast is 3.83 million. Previous was 3.82. So not a lot going on in financial news this week, but let's look at the Dow. The Dow was up last week, 34 basis points to 37,593. The S&P was up 1.8%, call it, it's up 1.8 to 4783, and the NASDAQ is up 2.99% to 14,972. I feel like I should buy some indexes. Just for the hell of it right now. They are just ripping.
I know, and I've been just the Twitter thing going off. I think, who is it? The big anonymous account who does all the retail strip mall guy.
Yeah.
He was talking about, if you've been in the stock market, you get like 9.72. And I've just been seeing a lot of stuff on indexes.
Yeah.
Blended returns between like 8 and 10% over long periods of time. So, throw in 20 grand.
Just a lot easier.
Yeah, just forget about it and just sits there and just boom.
I had a meeting Friday with one of our equity partners, Nick and them.
Yeah.
And, they're kind of growing their family office. And I was like, what if we just hired a guy that traded stocks for us all day long?
That'd be nice.
I was like, I'd be interested in sharing that with you. He's like, we've talked about that. Just get him a Bloomberg terminal and let him just sit there and let some dude grind away that knows how to do it but doesn't have the money. And so, anyways.
Go get some quant out of New York.
Yeah. So if anybody listening is, they're wanting to become a trader,
You need some form of track record, though.
Yeah. Yeah, this isn't a charity case.
This is not some keyboard wizard on the internet from a Reddit group coming in here trying to hawk stocks.
Yeah. Crude is up 1.98% to $72.68 a barrel. The 5-year came down to 3.83 from 4.017, so that's a pretty good movement. And the 10-year is down. Came in at 3.944 from 4.064 the previous week. So not as much movement in the 10-year, but the 5-year moved a lot.
Any chatter on why it's softening?
I don't know.
Maybe we're not smart enough, or we're not diving deep enough into it.
I don't think we just don't focus on it enough. Yeah. You probably have some debt broker, and they watch that all day long.
Yeah. I have not seen spreads, though, from banks go down.
No, but SOFR hasn't gone down. SOFR's still at 5.3, so I feel like everybody's just sitting there looking at SOFR.
There's been no movement on Prime.
No, Prime hasn't moved. I don't think it's going to move for 6 months. Who knows? So last week's performance, real estate stocks are down. 1 week performance. The only one up was healthcare facilities, up 1.79%. Real estate office down 3.84%. See, this might have just hit the peak. Now it's starting to come back down. 1 month performance, REIT and hotel is actually up 3.19%. So real estate stocks in the red last week, pretty much on a whole. So let's see. Real estate office started getting hammered. So I bet everybody made their money in that, and they're retreating now because they're like, this really sucks. Just kidding. Ha.
Yeah. It's not as good as I thought.
So let's see. All right. Football picks for you commercial real estate gambling degenerates. All right. I did not do very well last week. Michigan versus Washington. I took Washington at -5, loss. Cowboys versus Packers. Cowboys -7.5, loss. Now, let's talk about that for a second. That was terrible. I don't know who you blame in that. Like,
keep the emotions rolling. I'll be your therapist right now.
It's been 28 years since we've been to a championship game.
I'm sorry.
I mean, it's so hard. It's so hard. Like, we were going to the game the other day, and I'd just gotten back from Houston, and we weren't going to the game. We were going to a friend's house to watch a game. I was like, you know what? I wanted to go work out today. I never did. I was like, might as well just go work out during this, because they're either going to lose it and it's not worth watching, or they're going to win it and it's not worth getting bought in yet because they'll lose next week. And man, did they not get their ass whipped.
Did you work out and watch it?
No, I went to my friend's house and wasted 3 hours of my life. I don't know what you do there. I don't know that you fire the coach. It's been the same result for 28 years.
Yeah. Nothing changes if nothing changes.
Nothing changes if nothing changes.
And you know what the only constant has been the last 28 years?
Mr. Jones.
Yeah.
Well, he ain't leaving.
No, like we talked about that over the weekend. Like he's just nothing's. What are you gonna do with that? Like he owns the freaking team.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
A general manager in that position would also be fired.
Correct. Yeah, but he is owner, president, GM, quasi background head coach.
I would get behind Jerry Jones being the GM if that was his only job.
I think it just they need to bifurcate the roles.
Yeah.
Say, hey, what do you really want to do?
Yeah.
They need to do an EOS plan there.
Yeah.
And just like, hey, like, here are your strengths and weaknesses, and just stick to this channel. Like, is that owner? Is that president? Is that GM?
Yeah.
Because he'll accelerate better, and his kids are in the business. He's lots of people around him. I mean, literally the whole country wants him to do well. It's America's team.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of pathetic, man.
Yeah.
It's also, what's that? What is it? Doing the same thing in assuming
insanity.
It's insanity.
The definition of insanity.
Yeah.
being a Cowboys fan is the definition of insanity.
I won't watch it. I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I won't watch it because it's just like you described. I'm going to waste hours.
Yeah.
And I have no tie to it, but.
Well, I lost that bet.
It's okay.
Rams versus Lions. I took the Lions at -3.5. They won, but the Rams actually covered. Miami KC. I took Miami. I was not factoring in the Arctic blast, and they were definitely fish out of water in that game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, KC put it on them. The let's see. So this week you got Houston going to Baltimore. Houston's 9.5-point dogs. I kind of like Houston to cover. I don't think they're going to win. I like them to cover. They beat the hell out of the Browns.
Yeah,
I was actually watching that game. That was a good game.
Yeah.
Green Bay's going to San Francisco -10. I'm going to take Green Bay. I think San Fran's going to cover, but I think Green Bay's
can pull it off.
They're real. So Tampa at Detroit. Tampa is 6-point dogs. I don't know what to think about that game. I'm just going to go with Detroit. And KC at Buffalo. Man, this is...
Oh, that's a matchup.
God, I think, was it 2 years ago when they played, I believe, in the playoffs? Mm-hmm. That might have been the best football game I've ever watched. Mahomes and Josh Allen just going at it.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. We watched it, we were in Tahoe. We'll be in Tahoe this weekend. But we watched the NFL playoff that weekend, and that was one of the best games I've ever seen.
It'll probably be pretty good again.
Yeah. Oh, no, it'll be a good game. It'll definitely be a good game. So the Buffalo is favored by 3. So, I mean, it's kind of just a home field advantage type deal. I don't know, man. That's a coin toss. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. So,
yeah.
All right.
You know, my dad's had Browns season tickets since they came back.
Does he go?
No.
Does he just sell them?
He sells them every game.
Does he make money on them?
He's got some clients out there. He'll give them away.
Yeah.
He usually sells the Browns Steelers ones and makes up like
all the money,
all the losses. Like just when he's like, hey, like a cousin or a client, he'll just kind of dole them out. But I guess the Steelers Browns game, he makes up the difference, and it's pretty much a wash every year.
Yeah.
But every year, it's my brothers and I are like, what are you doing with these things? He owns the actual seats though.
Yeah.
So like different events that come through, he gets first look, but I think he's kind of just holding on until they go to the Super Bowl one year. Yeah. And the value just kind of hockey sticks.
Yeah.
It's a struggle.
Might be worth going buying Cowboys tickets this year now.
It might be.
The value just plummeted.
People are so depressed. Continue. I'm sorry.
All right, term of the week. I'll let you. You had one for this. I'll let you.
It's more of a phrase, but I was on the phone with somebody in New York, a fund for purchasing operating companies, and they continuously used treacherously using debt. That was the phrase to lever their returns.
They were were treacherously using debt, or companies they were buying.
Well, using debt to lever up their returns on companies they were purchasing.
Yeah.
And so, because I was asking, they were approaching me as an LP. And so I was asking, well, how are you guys using debt? What leverage are you using? Blah, blah, blah. And pretty low leverage, surprisingly. But every time they would mention debt, they would bring up, well, treacherously using it at 25% leverage, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, why are you using it? Why don't you just say, hey, we're just getting low leverage on each operating company? But if XP guy just using all these buzzwords, I was kind of lost about 30% of it. But the one thing that just stuck in my brain was treacherously using debt.
This is kind of my favorite part of this. Like, I just love I would love to have heard that conversation. If any of y'all have any funnier terms too, please send them in to us.
Yeah.
We love making fun of language.
Yeah. I guess we treacherously use debt here.
I guess.
At lower leverage points. But I was just like, what? Why don't you just say low leverage, man? Yeah. Or not that? I don't know. But I was laughing. I was like, it just reminded me of this segment of the show where you just get all these freaking data points and weird things sent to you to make people sound like they're smart. But yeah, that was an interesting one I heard.
That is interesting.
I'm not sure. I haven't heard that bleed over to real estate yet, but it's probably coming.
Well, not a lot of news this week, but talk about someone that just keeps failing and getting paid for it. Adam Newman. He has a property in Nashville. I think some multifamily. It's called Flow.
Yeah.
You know, did you watch We Failed?
I haven't, but I've read a lot about it.
Dude, you got to watch it.
Okay.
I love Jared Leto. Like, I think he's one of the most talented people in entertainment.
Okay.
Phenomenal musician, incredible actor. He's in it, man. And was it Anne Hathaway plays his wife? Mm-hmm. I mean, these people are so full of themselves in this show. And it seems to probably be exactly with what it seems to be pretty in line with what this guy. But I mean, like, he failed at WeWork. Although he got paid. Like, I guess he didn't fail. In the eyes of everybody, he failed, but he got paid, so he didn't fail. No. But he's got a new multifamily deal that I guess he did with Yield Street on the crowdfunding platform, and they're having to raise money for a cash flow deficit for interest rate caps.
Dude, how do people keep on giving this guy money?
Well, I don't know. But there's another one, GVA. They're down in Austin.
He's got a second property?
No, GVA is a syndicator down in Austin.
Okay.
They got another property going. They fell delinquent on a $145 million loan.
Dude, that's big boy money, man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Can we go back to Adam Newman?
Okay,
so
Adam.
Is Yield Street, is that like a crowdfunding?
Yeah.
So he took retail money. Mm-hmm. Well, this is purely speculation. WeWork, before it went public, was all, I guess, institutional and venture capital.
It was
right?
SoftBank, mainly SoftBank.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, like, they do their DD and stuff, but I feel like when you poke with the retail, like the small retail guys, right? Like, I feel like that's when, like, the Justice Department comes out, like the big boys start. Like,
maybe.
Me think?
Well, here's why. When you go to all the small retail investors, and this is what I've seen. I've seen some groups, like, in the small, there's a group specifically I know of that I don't know that they defrauded a lot of investors, but they didn't make shit for anybody and lost all their money pretty much, or lost a majority of it. Took a 15% management fee.
Oh my God.
They were a fund of funds. So I'm like, what are you even managing? You're not even like running the project. Anyways, whenever you're collecting $50,000 checks, you're collecting from someone that probably doesn't have the wherewithal to take you to the mat.
Good point.
So
good point.
If they don't have the money, if they're only putting 50 grand into a deal, they don't have the wherewithal to take you to the mat. So at that point, you can kind of scam them and nothing really happens. Yeah, nothing really happens maybe from a lawsuit from the investor. But yeah, I mean, they could go call the SEC, but most of them I think kind of.
It's probably hurting cats that get a class action.
Yeah. It's like one guy's trying to do it and he's like, why am I doing this? It's only $50,000. I lost it. It's over. I'll write it off, you know?
Yeah. Unless if it's just the moral vendetta and they're going to just.
There's that guy too.
There is. But
I think just on a whole, when you mess with people that can't take you down, it's harder to get taken down.
That's a fair point.
When you mess with big boy money, they're going to take. I mean, we just negotiated 2 JVAs. I think we probably spent 40 grand on each one.
Oh yeah,
because it's hey.
Well, I mean, if you look at like the one deal we're doing with one of them, how many attorneys do we have working on that thing?
Well, that's not necessarily the JVA, but there's 4 attorneys on it just from the complexity of the deal.
Correct. But if we didn't have them involved, would we have this many attorneys? We might just be writing 1 attorney or 2 attorneys.
We would have 2 attorneys in
there. But like we've got almost 4, I think.
Yeah, they got their counsel. We got our counsel.
Yeah, it's so the bigger there's just so many eyeballs on this thing.
Yeah. But that's what we signed up for.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that. I don't really care.
No.
I mean, the partnership pays for it. So, if we feel we need it, we need it.
Well, the good thing is too, is like you were saying last week, there's just more eyes.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the relief I feel like I've had from taking some larger quasi-institutional money is they have a full team of underwriters that are going to back test us and check us and which makes me go, okay, they came to the same conclusion I did. Cool. All right, I am right, so that does feel good.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It takes a little pressure off me, or it doesn't take pressure off me, but it helps me sleep a little better at night.
Yeah, I mean, you're 25, 50 basis points
apart,
like, depending on what the metric is now. Yeah. But like that's just formulas probably bleeding through in a different manner sometimes.
So this guy GVA, he's faced foreclosure he defaulted on a $56 million loan in San Antonio and defaulted on a $288 million loan in Houston. I mean, these multifamily guys are getting smoked right now.
Yeah. Crushed.
That's brutal.
Who's that guy that ran from his lawsuit that we put an offer on?
Nate Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're never getting an answer back on that building.
Oh, we did.
Oh, we did?
It's like $3 million more than what we offered. Oh. And the broker who brought it to us was like, I cannot in good conscience even let you get to that point. Like, it's but yeah, that guy's, I didn't know anything about him until you and the broker brought it up.
I got a Texas Monthly magazine the other day, and it has a big write-up on the whole scandal, and it's like, I'm going to have some reading time on the plane this week, and I'm going to take it. I want to understand what really happened, because it has to do with that senator or whatever representative.
I think it's what do they call it? General count? No, it's the attorney that represents the state or whatever, Paxton.
Yeah. That's kind of funny. I thought maybe he'd want some legal fees, or maybe he's upside down on that thing. Doesn't really. I don't know. Maybe he's leveraged up on it. I don't know. Oh, did you hear about the hotel in Fort Worth blowing up?
I did.
That was nuts.
Is it a gas explosion?
They think it was a gas explosion. I don't think anyone was killed. I think they were just.
It was like at 4:00 in the afternoon, which is pretty surprising. Nobody got hurt or killed.
They said they heard it at the Mercer Company Fort Worth office in stockyards. They could hear the explosion.
Whoa! Where's the office from Mercer Company?
It's in the stockyards. I haven't been there yet, so I don't know exactly where it's at.
Interesting.
Anyways, that's crazy. Insurance.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah,
for sure. Oh, and who's the Atmos? That's the gas provider. Yeah. Somebody's getting sued.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got for this week. You got anything?
Not really. I just read something interesting on pref equity deals, but we're still learning a lot about all that and the inner workings. I think we really like the single tenant net lease world of that, but this was just commenting about pref equity as a whole for different asset types and the complexities of it. And the one comment on this feed, this was on LinkedIn, was, and I think this is how I feel. I'm not sure if you feel this way. I'm trying to find the comment right now. Basically, to summarize it, was the amount of pref equity deals in the market for not single tenant net lease. A lot of it, a lot of people echoed is that buyers were stretching.
Yeah.
And so they couldn't fundraise from either institutional, quasi-institutional, or even retail money to get the deal done. So they're backfilling with the pref equity until the deal gets sized up right, or they do their value add component and they can go backfill it with just common equity. And a lot of people are just kind of echoing that. Like, it just feels like people are stretching. So they're using this tool. And a lot of the traditional pref equity guys were not getting involved. We're kind of on the sidelines because it appeared that there's a lot of stretching.
Well, I
agree
with that.
I
feel like all the deals we've seen that want pref equity from us
that were not single tenant,
single tenant net lease deals, like we could literally hang up on them 5 times and they would call us back 3 weeks later. They still haven't raised their money.
Yeah.
Makes me feel good about saying no.
Yeah, exactly. And I echo that. And I think we like the single tenant net lease space. It's just, there's tons of data.
There's data. The business plan is in place. Like it's not speculative. You have a tenant in tow.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess let's just talk about real quick a couple new things. One, we are headed to Houston. I spent the weekend in Houston. I drove through it.
What are your thoughts?
I think you just know the area you're buying in. Be careful on the assets you're buying. Just pick an area and kind of start there.
Yeah.
But I think we'll start with some single tenant stuff down there. But that place is a machine, dude. So I don't.
There's velocity.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Secondly, we are going to create a debt structured finance fund. So we're fixing to start kicking that off. We're going to be focused on first lien debt, short-term money, 12-month money for a lot of different asset classes within Texas on first lien. And then we'll do pref equity checks, really focused in the single tenant net lease, really focused with a project that has a tenant in tow. Unless those are the two deals we've funded so far. So anyways, if anybody has interest in that fund, you'll know us. We're going to be working on that. Let us know. But yeah, the pref equity space, the data's there. It's not a hard deal to figure out.
Yeah, for the single tenant net lease side.
Well, and then to the other aspect of it, we're operators, so if we had to take it over, we own a Caliber Collision. They're all the same.
Tom Thumb, Chipotle, Valero Oil,
right?
The oil change place.
Yeah,
Take 5.
Yeah, exactly.
Murphy's Express. So,
well, that's all I got.
I don't have anything else.
But we're active. We want to buy stuff. So y'all shoot it to us if you got something.
Please do.
All right. Go have a great week, commercial real estate.
Peace.